Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Oztron and we are back inside of GearBlocks. And for today's episode, we have a few things we need to figure out with our supercar. And one of those is the rear suspension and the transmission. There's some little quirky things that I'm not really sure what we need to do to fix, but we're going to go over that here in a second. And I've done quite a few things to the car. I actually recorded an episode earlier, and for whatever reason, none of the sound came through for my mic. So I don't know, we kind of lost that episode because of the sound issues. Sometimes that happens. It's weird because it shows that it's recording sound. So I had to kind of like double check during this recording to make sure everything is coming through. But yeah, it's just kind of one of the things that happens sometimes. So let's kind of go over some of the things that I did that I need to catch you guys up on. But I think in the previous episode, we were working on the 6-speed transmission, and I ended up swapping out to a different one that I kind of found in the workshop. I made a few changes to it and turned it around. I think this is the right direction it needs to be. Now, this transmission itself is a little strange, and I don't know if people are using like a glitch thing with these, because it seems like there are some collision aspects to this that are allowing these things to work. But before, we were looking at, let's see, where were we looking at here? How do I get to my, there we go. I was using, well, I started off with this transmission right here, but this one requires us to engage a gear and then disengage it before we go to the next gear. So that was a little too much for me to work out. I didn't really like having to hit all the keys in order to do that, because I really wanted to use a controller and just hit a button on my controller for, you know, the up gear and down gear. So I was looking for more of a sequential transmission. So I think I found, I don't even know where the heck it's at. I was using, I guess, I don't know where it's at. Maybe it was one of these right here. For some reason I don't see it. It might have been this one, I think. I don't remember exactly, because I've been kind of going down the transmission rabbit hole basically, and I've tried so many things, I've made so many adjustments to them, but I was on something like this, which was working okay. It was a sequential setup, but it was just wigging out, and so I was having to modify it quite a bit, and this little servo gear would run off the end over here and get stuck, and so I had to build like a cage around it to block it, and then also the gear ratio on it was just not giving me high enough gear for top end speeds, and all the gears were just relatively close together. So, and you can kind of see that with this one, that they're just a quarter of a step down from each other, I think. So I ended up switching over to this transmission right here. So let's go. I went to this one, and this one was super promising. I was having a lot of good luck with this, but just every so often it would just wig out. And because I think this one has a lot of internal glitched components, as you can see, like these things, it has a servo squished up inside here and a bunch of gears, a worm gear that are all like overlapping each other. And every so often it would load in and then like basically kind of explode. And so like the worm gear would be sticking out over here, and one of these, there's like a cylinder right there that would stick out this way, and it would just start like coming apart and it wouldn't go back together. And so I was spending more time like fixing this thing than actually using it. So it just was not going to work. So let's get rid of that. And then I found this transmission. I think it's this. Is it this one? Let's see. Let's load in. Yeah, I think this is the one that I'm currently using now. And I've tweaked it out a little bit, but for now it seems, no, this isn't it actually, is it? Is it the same one? Yeah, it is actually. Never mind. So this is the one that I'm using now, and it seems to be very similar to the last one, but it doesn't have so many glitched parts. It seems like it still has a couple like right here, and some of these gears are close together. If not, it's very, very close. But yeah, like there's a gear that's inside here that kind of swipes between all of this, and then there's also a belt drive system. So this one seems to be pretty stable. Every so often I have to like re-establish the belt on here, but so far I've only had to do that one time, and it seems to be working okay. Also, like when you shift gears, it stays aligned with the gears when the little mesh gear switches in between ratios. So that was another issue, is you would have like some of the gears stop halfway between and they wouldn't stay like fully engaged. So that one was this one has been like the best one so far. So let me go ahead and get rid of this and show you guys how I've kind of implemented it into the car. It took me a bit to figure out exactly what was the front and back on that one. So let's get rid of that. And so we have it over here. Now, the weird thing about this one that is a little on the annoying side is it doesn't actually line up, and I don't know why, with the I guess with the world box, or something's out of alignment. I don't I don't know how to explain it, but I have it attached right here to my floor pan, and it's kind of weird because this is the input shaft, which is kind of like weirdly off-centered somehow, and it's not, I don't even know where the heck it's at. Like it's just not in the right spot, and I don't understand why it doesn't line up, and it's like a weird half step, but it's not even a half step, because I can't use like one of these. Here's like a little half block right here that I was hoping to use to try to align it to the vehicle, but it just wasn't working, and I couldn't get, like, I was going to try to use like a gear mounted here and then mounted to my drive shaft, but they're just too close to each other. And I don't know, this thing is lined up. Maybe it's my engine. Maybe my engine's, weirdly placed or something. I mean, it's kind of halfway down, but it is mounted, it's mounted to everything via the blocks. But there could be something with this block right here, because this is what I have that I'm using to mount the engine. So maybe it needs to come up a little bit, and maybe I should look at that. But I don't know, it seems like everything mounts to this and lines up with the engine just fine. And same thing with my rear end components. It just seems like with this transmission, this input shaft is just a tad off center for whatever reason. So I had to do like this weird belt drive thing where I have a belt come up and then over and attach and then back down just to turn the transmission, because I couldn't get anything close enough to direct drive it to this. I couldn't get a thing using the node, whatever it's called, I forgot what it's called, the node thing, but where you can like make things at an angle and stuff like that. So I tried that and I couldn't get that to work. So this has just been the only way that I've been able to get it, which seems to work fine. So right now the transmission is working out good. My clutch thing is working good. I have a counterweight right here. I had some counterweights running through the sides of the engine too, but I didn't really need them. And it really just kind of comes down to the transmission right now. And now I don't need all the giant counterweights. Also, another huge issue with the counterweights is like, because a lot of people are like, make sure you have the counterweight or a flywheel or whatever. Well, I do that and I put like a big size counterweight, in between this space right there. But it takes up, well, I guess it develops so much inertia, I guess, as it's spinning around, that at high speeds, it just flips the car over. So it's like I need another one going the opposite direction just to keep my car stable. So with too big of a counterweight, your vehicle will just flip over and it doesn't stay very stable at high speeds. So that was another issue. So I kind of have a counterweight there, and I have like a harmonic balancer counterweight up front, or I did. Actually, I think I took it off now. So I did have one on a gear right there, but that's when I had the two, but I guess I took it out because I didn't need it. So I'll show you guys that here in a minute. And then made a few adjustments to the rear suspension because it was like jiggling around a lot. And so I kind of stiffened it up a little bit, and I don't know, it's having some strange issues back here. So I might have to redesign the back end, and I might actually mirror what I have going on in the front, because the front seems pretty stable. And then, I'll just use these connecting, these like whatever steering linkage rods to just be physically mounted instead, you know, maybe, or I'll just use a different like a different knuckle or something. But anyway, I don't know. So so I swapped out my toilets for real seats now, so that's one big change. I changed up my exhaust, so I have the exhaust coming out to front and then off to the side, kind of like an old Shelby Cobra kind of thing. And then I was gonna, I need to do that over here, so I forgot to do that. So I need to mimic that side over here. And then what was the other thing? Oh, and then I have a gear shift thing. So while I'm sitting in the seat, let's see, let's go to camera mode. We can see that I have a gear shift lever here, and I don't know if it's going to let me demonstrate it without the car being on. Let me do this. So let's, oh, there we go. And let's get in, and then we can see that I have a gear shift thing. So this is first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear. But what's weird is that I have to hit the button twice on the servo. So maybe you guys have a solution for this, because if I go from reverse to first, it's just one click on my controller or keyboard. But if I want to go from first to second, and then from second to third, I have to actually hit it twice in order for the thing to actually turn. So this is in sync with what's going on with my transmission back here. So as you can see, I have my gear, you know, right there going in between. So I have to hit it twice. It's just weird. So I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe you guys have some solutions here with, you know, how to make these things do what they need to do. Now this, for some reason, this is, I'm having to hit it twice also, so I'm not really sure what's going on. I think I can set like the step amount on the servo, and I've done that over here. So if we bring this back up and we look, I have the step amount at, where is it at? Let's see, step angle is 45 degrees because that's the degree of all the numbers on the wheel. But I don't know, it's kind of weird. You know, you would think it just doesn't turn. So I had to hit the button twice in order for it to go to the 45-degree angle. So I'm not really sure if there's a setting somewhere that I'm missing or something to do with some of this stuff there. I don't know what gamma means exactly, but that's been kind of an issue that I've been having to deal with. Now this has a stepper motor on it too, and I guess it's the same thing. So this one has a step angle of that, so that should be the distance between each gear. And it seems to work okay when I'm actually driving the car. I don't know why it was acting weird just a minute ago. Now this has a separate reverse gear, so this is a motor for the reverse gear, so it's just using a starter for reverse. But yeah, I mean, so far that's kind of the things that I've been like kind of tweaking on. I put a speedometer thing back here, so when I'm in like the third person point of view, I can see the speed. And I actually figured out how to change it over to miles per hour. So that's over here on this little sensor. You can just click on it and use imperial units, and that will set that to actual miles per hour instead of kilometers. That way I don't have to always convert it. And yeah, I mean, so far that's been the main things. I think I still have the engine set to, let's see, 75. Oh no, I brought it down to 4,000 RPMs because at 7,500, it was just doing some weird things. So I just kind of kept it at 4,000. A lot of you guys commented and said that the game really can't handle above the 4,000 RPM, you know, range. And so I just went ahead and did that. I brought down the, whatever, this lambda sensor thing. And other than that, that's about the only thing. I have the volume efficiency. For some reason, it won't stay maxed out, so it just always defaults to 0.9 for me. So I'm not really sure. I had it 1, but I guess you can't have it fully maxed out. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at how this thing drives. I went into this map here because I needed a little bit of open space. I was running out of space in order to test things, but as you can see, let's get my controller. Okay, so I have it on the controller now, and we can start the engine. So engine RPMs are at 787, you know, close to 800 RPMs. That's pretty normal for this. And let's see. So there's our gas. Let me adjust the camera. I need to figure out how to bind the look around on my other joystick, because I can steer just fine, but I want to look. I want the camera to turn, my head to turn, so I can look up and down and around, but I don't seem to know how to do that, or I can't figure it out. Doesn't seem to be a setting for it. So if we go here, we can hit, and then we'll go up a gear, and see how it gets all bouncy. And I'm going up, like, this thing can get up to really good speeds. Like I said, I can hit 250 miles an hour. Oh, but now it's starting to spin out. It's doing weird things, and it'll just flip over here in a minute, and it's doing some weird stuff. So I got this weird jiggly bit going on in the back. So let's look at what I'm talking about. And it's just I don't know, it's like destabilizing the vehicle for some reason. So let's get the transmission all the way back to first gear, and let's look at the angle from back here, and you guys can see what's going on with the back end. So I'm going to just kind of follow one of these lines here, but see how it's like doing all that weirdness? I just don't understand why it's jiggling about like that, and it's like it's bending at the end of the axle or something. So I don't have anything that's, I really don't know. So then, because it jiggles about, the tires aren't in contact with the ground, and then it makes me spin out. So kind of weird. I don't know. The front end seems to be handling it okay, but because the back end is jiggling, and it's mainly under power. So like as I'm applying power is when it's doing it. As you can see, as I like lay off the power, let's hit the brakes here. Definitely need better brakes. I feel I have the brakes cranked up to 10, and it's still, let's go down a couple of gears here. But yeah, you see, like, I don't know if it's like spinning out or what, like what the heck is going on? And if I let off, I mean, it's still jiggling about. So there's something weird. So I think I'm going to swap out the front suspension, or swap out the rear suspension with the front suspension. So I don't know, but you guys, I mean, you can see I have the issue where I was revving too high and doing all that quick revving stuff fixed, and that seems to be resolved with this transmission. And this transmission is working pretty good, but for whatever reason, I got this weird jiggliness going on the back end. Thought about just putting a live axle back there and seeing if that helps, but I don't know. So another reason why it's a little sluggish is I actually made my floorboard. So if we look around here, the floor pan of my car here is all made out of lead. So I found that adding lead kind of helps keep it from flipping over so much, keeps the center of gravity down, but I mean, it doesn't help with this weird thing going on with the back of this thing. So not really sure what that's all about. So I might do some experimenting, just start disconnecting some things. Maybe it's the maybe it's something to do with the anti-sway bar thing in the back, but I don't think so. I think it just might be how this suspension's set up, because you can see it going under load. Now it used to squat when I would accelerate. So if we go all the way to first gear, it would squat, but it doesn't seem to be squatting anymore. And I think that's because I have, let's go out of this for a second, come back here. All right, I think it's not squatting because I have the shocks, let's see, turned all the way up. So let's put it at 15 and was that 15 or 25? Let's put it at 25, I meant. So this is the default that it starts at, And I also moved my shocks just to get rid of, because I had the little node skip thing or whatever it's called, where it was at an angle, and you know, it was working out okay, but I just figured I'd eliminate that as being like part of the issue. So I just directly connected it over here on this thing, on this, just a little pole there. So you know, that should that should excuse me, like joking over here, that should eliminate any issues with that. So far as this car is, you know, designed, it's not using any weird you know, node things or clipping things besides whatever the dude, whoever built this transmission, did. So I think that's the only thing, but so far it seems to work, and it's barely, you know, it might not actually be using anything like that. So I mean, everything seems to be, you know, meshing okay, but I don't see a lot of overlap stuff. So let's drop that down, and then we'll get in and see if we see the same thing. All right, so yeah, I don't know. Now it's not doing the little anti-squat that it used to do under acceleration. So it's doing that like a lot, but I don't see that it's doing that now. So I mean, I'm assuming it's all okay. Yeah, that's like 6th gear right there. So now let's put this all the way back and 1st gear. There we go. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird. It's not moving, not doing the whole squat thing at all. So maybe there's something that's changed. All right, come back. Oh, okay. So yeah, kind of weird. I'm not really sure what the heck is going on. Come on. There we go. But maybe you guys can leave some comments and just give me some advice on what you think might be going on. Thought about actually disassembling, you know, taking out this thing, but I don't know, maybe I should do that. Maybe we can just take this, just move it right there and do the same thing right there. So now that's not even connected. That's just going to flop around. So yeah, that's just flopping around on the back now. Let's lift it up. I mean, it seems like we have decent like suspension stuff going. So it's definitely heavy because of the weights, but I don't know. I just don't understand why it's jiggling about like that. It seems like the suspension's, you know, doing everything it's supposed to be doing. When I'm moving it around like this, it seems like it's not bending. I don't know if that's a thing. I mean, these are all, everything is, you know, equally, I guess, placed, and it should be working. It's just driving me crazy, because I was hoping to have it to where it just be steady at high speeds. So let's try it without this being connected, and then maybe I need to lower the back shocks. I still feel like the shocks are pumped up a bit. So let's bring these down to 15 and bring this one down to 15. All right, and I mean, is that good? Well, let's try and just see what we can see. So put the camera angle down low here. See what we can. All right, there we go. Oh, it's still doing weird stuff. It's doing weird stuff. I don't get it. It's not my exhaust, is it, over here, right? Let's look at, that's not hitting the ground. Nothing's hitting. I mean, it's really flat underneath the vehicle. But we can see how those tires are just bouncing around? In the front seem to be very steady, but the back is doing some weird stuff. Especially when I go into higher gears. It seems like almost the faster the differential goes, the wonkier the rear end gets. So I'm wondering if it has something to do with that. Maybe that's something we can try out to replace and just make a solid axle rear end. Maybe. Can we even do that? Like, is that a thing? Let's see. Oh, I didn't mean a wrong thing. Oh, it drives me crazy when it flips over like that. So let's take this. Let's flip it, and I need a pin. So let's grab a pin out of our parts thing. I think that's down here. Yeah, right there. And let's flick that over. And let's put a pin into this. Let me swap out the exhaust real quick. Let me do that because we don't really need, we need everything to be symmetrical here. So I'm just going to unlock this set of pipes right there, like that. And then I should be able to just, well, okay. Where's it connected at? Oh, right there. Okay, that one. Should be able to just select the pipe. There we go. So I can pull that off, and then we can copy this setup over here. So let me do this real quick and get this sorted out. I wish there was a reverse mirror option for some of these parts so we can copy and mirror it at the same time. All right, you guys give me a second. Okay, so I have the other exhaust side duplicated over on the passenger side now. So now let's see what we can do back here. I really feel like we're gonna have to dissect this rear end and figure out what the heck is going on. I don't think I have. Let's just go through and make sure there's nothing like connecting it all strange. Everything is, you know, connected. I don't see anything that's causing any issues. Like, yeah, everything right, like right here would be where like if something was connected, you know, like this. Sometimes it would be like that, you know, but it just needs to be able to rotate. And same thing with this setup there. That's all set to rotate, and we're using the correct axles. They're fully connected, you know, so I'm not sure what the heck is going on, but I'm thinking about putting like a live axle back here or something, but I don't know if you guys see something I'm missing. I don't know. I mean, this can't be adjusted. One of you guys was saying that I could set that to like slide back and forth. Like, for example, you know, where this is, I can change that to slide, you know, where the rod would slide, you know, allow for it to slip, you know, as the wheel went up and down. But I don't think that's, you know, a thing in this game that we have to worry about. I think there's some areas of the game that are a little bit relaxed when it comes to certain aspects of the physics. So, you know, that makes sense. But everything is set to do what it needs to do. I could try, you know, what I could try to do is like lock all these, like stop these from rotating. Or can I? I don't know. Maybe I can't. Oh, that doesn't need to rotate. Lock that in. So I can't set those to lock into place. I mean, that wouldn't be ideal. So we want this to go up and down. And same thing for the shocks. Those are on a ball. I mean, I could put those, but I don't see there's any reason to do that. So everything seems normal. So let's just try it. Let's put this back. Let's slide these back in. And then maybe what we'll do, maybe we have to do something with this rear end. Maybe this is the problem. And maybe we can adjust I think we have some options on ratios and stuff. I tried the bigger version of this, so we have another version over here that we could swap in, which is the 48 tooth version. And if we like swap it around, you can kind of get an idea if I just stick it in there, like how much bigger it is. That's just going to reduce our top speed and allow us to have a lower gear ratio, like at the overall. So I'm not sure that's the best idea, but it seems like there's some wonkiness going on. And I think all of these are set correctly. So that is set to there. It's going to drive that. It rotates to there. Rotates through there. So not really sure. You guys said swapping this, like reversing it from over here to over there, is a good way to swap your vehicle if it's going, like if you have it in drive and it's going backwards. That was a big brain move. I had not thought of that. So I like made all these gear reversal things on the back instead of swapping that around. So that was genius. All right, so I guess maybe let's try just taking this stuff out, see what we can do here. I think what we could do, just to like get rid of that, I think we might be able to add just a crown gear. Now what size is that? I think it's 32. Wait, is that the big one? Let's get rid of the big one. And this one is, yeah, 32 teeth. And let's see, I think we have a 32 right here that we could use. So let's try this. Maybe just make our own like live axle version of this. So let's stick that in right there. Is that the same? It doesn't seem to mesh up the same. Do we need to slide it forward a little bit? Oh, that doesn't work. So wait, that's a 32. Oh, by 4. Wait, what is this one? 32. Is that not the same size? It looks like it's the same size. Why is it not meshing with this thing? Let's get it in the right spot. Oops. Okay. Weird. Okay, so, well, that's different. I guess it's offset. So if we stick that back in here, it's got a, oh, it's got a little, like a half step offset to it. So when it's inside there, it now lines up because it has a bit of a step to it. Weird. Now I thought, like, actually, if I go, let's go to our options. I thought there was a area in here to allow things to be at half step adjustments. I don't know where that would be. Where was that I saw this? Not here. Was it, let's hit Q, wait, Shift Q, Control, what the heck? Oh, not that. Trying to figure out what the, there's an option menu we can pull up. Oh, here it is, settings. I think this is it. Construction. What are these? Saved things, I guess. I'm not really sure what that is. See, weather, enable energy consumption. So this is our thing for the map. Okay, and grab strength, free rotation, shove strength. Wow, didn't even know that was a thing. All right, kind of like there was a advanced options, maybe translation steps. Here it is. All right, so half step. So will that allow me to put this in? I don't know if this is what that means or not, but can I half step it over? I guess not. I think maybe what that might, let's just test this. Let's put that in the middle. And if I rotate it, no, okay. I don't know what that means. Right here, half unit, translation step interval, half unit, 1 unit. Alignment. Okay, well, I don't know what that means then. So, all right, let's just stick this in there and then we'll just find a gear to match it. Probably can't put it there. We're going to put it right there because now we need to connect this in the middle. So we're going to need a bigger, get on there. We're going to need a bigger drive gear, which is not what I was wanting to do. All right, so let's try this. Parts. So what size is that? That is a 3 times 3, 24. We need probably, it looks like a 3. Well, we don't have an option. We just have to go to 4. Okay. Let's see if that will be enough. All right. Oh yeah, okay. Oops. Get over. Get. Stop. Get. Oh, jeez. Okay, so we have the arrow rotating that way. It's basically the same size. Okay, so it's like a 1-to-1 rear end. I'm not sure that's the best thing. So. Okay. Oh, what happened? I moved my tire. All right. Okay, so now what I need to do, let me just copy this bit there. And we'll just move this over, rotate it around like that. Use that as our connection piece for the 2 solid axles. So now we're getting rid of all the crazy differential pieces. And let's make sure that didn't weld itself to there. Okay, that's good. All right, so I guess that's what I need to do there. I guess I'll just leave that hanging in the air. And let's test this, make sure nothing falls off the vehicle. Nope. All right, we're good. So let's test it. See what the heck's going on. I don't really know. Oh, get out of the seat first. And there we go. What just fell off? Oh, I think I duplicated that part. So get rid of that. And let's get in. Let's start her up. Okay. And we'll just zoom in on the back like that. See if we get the same thing. Oh. I was wondering, like, why is it not going? Because my controller turned off. Let's let it sync real quick. There we go. All right. Oh, we still got the jigglies, it looks like. Oh my gosh, it might be worse. Is it worse? How's that? How can it's like, I think it's worse. How fast are we going? I haven't even changed gears yet. There we go. I mean, that was in first gear. So if I could keep it going in a straight line, you guys can see that it will do 250. There we go. So now we're at 220. It's a little more stable, actually. It's a little more stable. We're at 245. Oh, so I think we I didn't know there was a boundary wall. We were about to hit the boundary wall, or we did hit it. All right, let's hit the brakes. Go down. There we go. So yeah, so we got up to 250. Not very fast. All right, there we go. Trying to go forward while we're going backwards. So, see, we still have this weird acceleration skippity-bippity thing back here. Oh my god. What? What the heck? So maybe that's our sign of where our problem is. It's like it's cranking it down right there. Oh my gosh. Okay. So maybe we need to... How is it doing that? Is it just because how I have the control? Oh, that is not... What the heck? Okay, what is going on? Okay, I think I'm gonna have to rebuild the rear end. I don't think it's a good design. I copied this design from someone else's car and been kind of like modifying it to make it stronger so it doesn't do this, but I think it's how it's pivoting. All right, where's my parts at? Let's go back over here. I'll keep the rear end the way that it's going. Oh my gosh. All right, let's go this way. Oh, yikers. Okay, so we're gonna go this way. We can make it. So I think we're running into like a torque issue where it's over torquing the way the suspension, causing it to bind and fold in on itself. So let's just stop please, and let's hop out here, bring this up, and let's take a look at swapping. I guess the easiest thing for me to do, I really wish I could just, can I copy? Let's see, lock, invert, shrink, grow, add, selection, toggle parts. Is there not like a copy thing? I really thought there was a copy thing. Left, control F. Oh, here, what is this? Duplicate construction. Now, is that anything that's selected? Because that would make life easier. If I could just duplicate this right here. Let me see if I can just, let's try this out. So what did I do to do that? Duplicate. What does this do? Freeze, unfreeze, toggle, save, destroy. So duplicate. Oh, that's my whole dang thing. Okay, that is not what I wanted to do, but I think this might work out. So, all right, now the one thing I have that's going to be an issue is that this front end is a little more narrow up here, so it might be harder to get a differential back here. So let me analyze that. What we can do is I can just yank that off, and then we can just delete all this stuff. All right, guys. Well, that took quite a while to rebuild the rear end back here. It was a lot of dealing with a bunch of crazy, I guess, probably more bug issues than anything. I ran into quite a few crazy things, and I still actually, do I have one? I have one right here. So I just realized I need to move that right there. And yeah, that needs to rotate. So I have that in the wrong place. Actually, it needs to go right, what the heck? Right there. Okay. So yeah, there we go. All right. Yeah. Symmetry, man, it's, it's a bit of a struggle sometimes. We really need the ability to copy things and like mirror them when we copy it. That would really help out and make things a lot simpler to kind of speed build some stuff. So yeah, so basically on the rear end back here, let's move this little display. And I had to take the front end assembly. So we had the front end up here, right? And the main issue with this was that it was too narrow. So it was a little more narrow than the previous rear end setup that we had. And I had to widen it one block on each side. So it's basically 2 blocks wider. And that was in order to fit the differential back here. So this needed to fit in the back, and there's not really a smaller version of this. So I had to widen it. So the rear, it's kind of got a staggered setup now as far as the wheels go, which is fine. That's totally fine. And I may actually go up and widen the front end now. So I don't know if I need to, but whatever. We'll see if it, has any issues. But yeah, so I had to actually rebuild quite a bit of this because there was just a lot of weird bug things. Like for some reason, I was running into issues with these pieces right here, which I really like these pieces and how you can resize them and kind of make curves and things like that, like this firewall piece right there. I really like being able to do that, but for whatever reason, it was just not cooperating with me. So I had to basically make everything kind of a straight piece that had anything to do with a pivot point. So all of these pivot points were mounted into this piece right here. So you can see this pivot point is mounted directly to this piece. Works great in the front, but for whatever reason, it was having some difficulties working in the back, and I just could not get it to like weld together for some reason. Everything else was working just fine, but then I would go to unfreeze the vehicle and like half my suspension would fall out this way and half of it would stay stuck, and then I'd make one little change and then the other side would fall out. It was just driving me nuts. I literally actually just got out of the game for a little bit and then came back to it because it was just making me go insane for a bit. So I finally got it all figured out. I went ahead and switched over to basically straight pieces. I do have an angle piece here that seems to be cooperating, and we have another one right there, so that's doing all right. I did have to basically configure how the dampening or sway bar, torsion bar, whatever you want to call this. I had to figure this new location for this. So this is actually a little longer, and it's kind of going over the and through the suspension setup here. And also another big thing that we had to do was up here, since I basically copied the front end setup and I put it into the back, we have this steering linkage right there. And so this connects to the rack and pinion right there for steering, but we needed to hard mount that. And so I basically took that piece right here and then we mounted it right there. So this is kind of a typical real world setup in a lot of cars today now. A lot of modern cars will have a basically like what's called a 5-link setup, and this will be inset a little further away into here, and as the suspension goes up and down in the back, it actually helps turn in around turns and stuff like that. So as the car sways and like I guess rotates on its axis, like laterally, I guess, I don't know, then it will help turn in these rear tires, helping you to have a little degree or so of turn in on stuff like that. So anyway, just a little side thing on that. But I don't know if that works in this game, but it might. If I could get it to mount probably right there, like one notch in, it probably would have that same effect. Maybe, I'm not really sure. So I don't know. And do I have a pin? Let's see. I don't think I have a pin on this right now. Let's add a pin so I can unfreeze it. And let's put this there and rotate that like that with the echo. Yeah, so if I unfreeze it and then we select the little grab tool, then we might be able to see if it's doing any of that. If it's, can't really tell if it's turning in or not, but it might be. I don't know. It's either, yeah, actually, I think it is actually turning in, even with it being in line with the lower joint there. So interesting. All right, well, just a little note there, I guess, but that could help maybe with some stability stuff. So yeah, another thing that I had to do was switch over to the larger shocks here because I had to kind of adjust how they're mounted. For some reason in the back, I don't know why this back assembly is heavier than the front assembly. There's more weight up here. I mean, I have the whole engine and all that stuff, but for some reason the small shocks seem to handle the front just fine. But when I had the small shocks back here, it was not handling it as the same. So I'm not really sure where all the weight came from. Maybe this transmission's made out of lead or something. I don't know. It doesn't tell me. Oh, it's made out of titanium. Okay. So it should be fairly light then. I don't know. So yeah, so that's basically the main changes. You know, basically took the torsion and sway bar, moved it through the back here, and then going over here. So that is all set up, and yeah, that's all. You know, seems to be looking about right. And that's about it, really. It just took a long time to kind of figure out. Also, I noticed you really can't, these tires have, I guess, a certain amount of hit blocks, like a certain hit. I don't know how to explain it, but there is a block around these tires that when something gets in its way, it really interferes. So I had this part right here in a little, you know, tighter to the wheel. And man, it was causing all kinds of issues. And I forgot that that was a thing, because I did try to put an arch over the wheel, and I guess we're gonna have to use like the little like glitch no clip method or something, so that it doesn't interfere with the wheel. Because when I didn't even have it very close, but there is a big hitbox around it. Same thing with the chair. Like if I select, like, you know, not on the chair, but I don't really understand, but there is kind of a weird hitbox on here. So I'm on the wrong tool, so I don't really know. But sometimes you go, yeah, see, I don't know, it's kind of weird. But anyway, it's just whatever the select box is for this things, it's kind of crazy. So I don't know, I was kind of running into that issue as well. But let's go ahead and stick this little display on here. I had it in the back, like right there, and I need to hook it up so that we can get our information out of it. And let's select that, put that on the crank, and then put this right, put I guess on the head, and then we need one for the intake, and put that there. So what do we have? That just did not update with what I wanted. All right, so we have speed, we need RPM, and then we can do, let's do torque, and then let's do power. Yeah, and then let's have that update every second. And that one looks like speed, RPM, torque, power. So that one's good. Okay, so now let's pull the pin out. And come on. There we go. Pull the pin, delete the pin, get rid of the pin, and then we're going to unbind this thing, drop it down, way down there. So now I kind of did a test drive over here and ran out of room, but I was definitely getting up to like 200 miles an hour. So, and it seemed to be a little bit more stable. We still get a little bit of wobbliness in the back, but I don't know. Let me go ahead and get my controller turned on. Let's start the engine up. And I guess we're gonna go like near this wall here. Now, when you hit the wall, yeah, see, it's got a weird, look, it's automatically turned to me. So, all right, so let's go ahead and stop. And we are idling at 787, and I am in first gear. So, all right, let's just see where we're going here. You know, 400 or 500 watts of power. We get a little jiggly, and we're at 181 miles an hour already. And I'm shifting. I think I'm in fourth gear now. So, wow, we're at 265, 270, 280, 294, 308. Wow, is this the last gear? I think this is the last gear we have. Yep, this is it. I'm gonna take a screenshot. Wow, look at that, guys. So it's a lot more stable. This is front suspension design just seems to be really stable at 370 miles an hour. So that is crazy. We're maxed out at RPM. If I increase the RPM limit, we might be able to get a little better. Seems like our torque and power is all over the place at 500, 600, 800. Oh, good Lord. All right, we just ran into the wall. Excuse me, like choked there for a second. Okay, wow. All right, that was a huge improvement. So All right. God, I can't actually get to my car. All right, let's select it and then drag it over here. And let's rotate it like that. Okay, let's try that again. I'm kind of curious, if we increase our RPMs, can we break? Where are we at? 370? 370 miles an hour? Can we break 400? That's pretty crazy. I need to get this thing working too. I still, like, you guys, if you know like how to make this not go every, like I have to double tap it. This would be cool if we had a way to display like what dang gear we're in. Maybe the devs will hopefully like create some logic blocks or something so that we can just have it on our display of what gear we're in. That'd be kind of cool, But I do like that we can make little numbers and like rotate that and stuff. But let's see. Let me change this to a higher RPM. I think we'll do 6,000 and see what happens with this. So let me do this real quick. All right, so I got the engine set to max out at 6,000 RPMs. So let's see if that makes a difference here. Let's go ahead and drop this down and get in our seat. And let's start her up. Now let's just go, make sure we're in first gear. And we have, the steering's really good too. Uh-oh, I don't know why it just died. Yeah, steering. Oh, that's weird. Oh, okay. Oh, whoa, wait a second. What's going on? Let's try this out. All right, let's go up against the wall here. Oh, okay. Maybe 6,000 RPMs is a bit much. Holy mackerel. Okay. Easy there. Let's grab our little tool and okay, so come back here. What the? All right, let's get you pointed in the right direction. I think that was the direction we're going in. Let's go ahead and reset this thing. All right, and let's get in. All right, so I think I need to maybe start off in a higher gear. I think we're spinning out too much. So let me start this up. And yeah, we're in a, there we go. What? Are we up against that wall? Is that what's happening? Let's adjust this. Maybe up a little higher like that. All right, yeah, it's revving really fast. All right. Okay. I'm trying to look at the RPMs. When we get around 4,000, I'm going to shift. There we go. Oh, I'm trying to stay off the wall, as you can tell. There we go. So we're already at 270. Holy cow. 290. We're still a little jiggly. 318. All right. I'm just, oh, come on. Trying to steer it. Where are we at? 394, 400 miles an hour. Ah, okay. Oh my God. Okay. Holy, okay. I think we broke the game. Okay, so, yep. All right. I think the game said, nope, we're putting a stop to this shenanigans here. So let's do that and then rotate you back that way. So, all right. I mean, I'm happy with that, right? I wasn't expecting to get that fast. I mean, geez, just last episode was struggling so much with the dang transmission. So, all right, let's try this and let's go ahead and shift all the way back into whatever gear we're in. I'm in first gear, so let's start our engine and let's cruise off this wall. It's the wall's got like a sponge to it, so kind of weird. All right, we're gonna shift and then shift into, I think we're in third now, fourth maybe. So I mean, look at that. I mean, we're steering pretty good. Oh lordy. All right. I don't know if this game has like actual like aerodynamics and, you know, physics like that. That'd be nice. So, oh, wow, we're already at the end over here. Okay. All right, let's try this. A downshift, upshift. All right. So it's still a little wonky and wobbly. I don't know where that's coming from. If this thing has wind resistance or aerodynamics, that would be good to know. Let's shift it. We're at 250. I mean, I'm actually steering, so I'm just trying to like stay in a straight line here. 30 something, 319. Let's shift. Oh, I think I maxed out. Okay. Oh, god dang. Oh, holy cow. I just recovered. I can't believe that. I think the wall helped me out there. Not the time to save there. Oh, boy. Oh, okay. We're gonna, oh, jeez. Okay. All right. Whoa. Oh, aye. Ah, dang. Okay. All right. Settle down. Let's stop, please. What the heck? Okay. Hello. Easy there. All right. Wow. That was a little on the banana side. Let's get out of there and just get, oh, geez. It's not happy at all. I think we messed up the, yep, that does not look right at all. That looks like a mess, and this thing is about to explode. That just is crazy. I don't know if this has crash physics, but that would be nice to add in some future updates. You know, to be able to explode your vehicle or something, you know? But yeah, all right. Well, hey guys, I mean, let me know what you think in the comments about this. So we got up to legit 400 miles an hour, I guess, and new setup. You know, the transmission, this little guy is actually, I think, one of the better transmissions here, and it is working good, you know, even with the belt drive, you know, and its weird offset that you know had to accommodate for. So, you know, other than that, it's a direct drive to this small differential. Let's go ahead and like get out of this. Yeah, there we go. And let's see. The rear end setup is working quite nicely. So, you know, still get a bit of little jiggle bits going on with the tires and things, but I don't know if there's a different thing to do or a setting for that or something, but maybe you guys can let me know. The exhaust is working out pretty nice, so we have room for our legs now, not get burnt to a crisp exactly, maybe a little bit, but yeah, so I don't know. So this is where we're going now. I need to put, like, I guess next step will be try to figure out a few more things. I want to put a I really want to figure out the shifting thing, because I'd like to know what gear I'm in, and then I'd like to stick a body on this. I think I'm going to go for something similar to like a roadster body of, I don't know, I'm kind of thinking of a maybe like a Shelby coupe or something. I'm not really sure. I don't know if this is quite a little too long to be a Shelby Cobra, but I think the little Shelby 350 coupe would be a nice look for this if we can get, you know, some type of roundness. That's quite a curvy design, so I'm not really sure be able to achieve that, but maybe we can get some kind of long-nosed, you know, mid-engine type of setup going on here. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to figure out the issue with the body collision and try to start figuring out those tricks that I've seen other people do with their vehicles, you know, where they have parts clipped into each other and it's not interfering. So there's obviously some kind of setting for that to ignore that and still work, you know. But as far as everything on this, you know, except for maybe the transmission, everything is 100% vanilla as far as, you know, building in the game without having to do any weird tricks or crazy stuff. So seems to be working pretty good, but you guys let me know. And I think also on the body, I want to add some active aero and some, you know, other things like that on it, and see if we can make use of some of the servo components to activate, you know, some kind of Knight Rider aesthetic pieces or something like that on it. That'd be kind of cool. I did put headlights on here, which I think I can turn on. I don't know if I forgot all about the headlights. So they work? They do not work. So I didn't turn them on, or maybe I have to be in the seat or something, but whatever. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section. Really appreciate you guys watching the videos and leaving me all the little tips and things that I'm missing and helping me out in the comment section. It's been huge for this game particularly, but I'm really excited to see where this thing goes, you know, and see how much further these devs take this. But anyway, I guess I'm going to end it here, and I really appreciate you guys watching the videos. Make sure you like and subscribe, hit that little bell notification, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Thanks.